y dos, y dos, una, y dos, una, y dos.
Hello and welcome to Cortesnyc Livestream, the podcast.
This show broadcasts out of New York City.
We are your hosts, Cortesnyc,
And Carla de Puerto Rico.
and on this show we talk about art, creativity, city life from a Latino perspective. I'm a visual artist.
And I'm a singer.
And this is episode 78. We're taking a dive deep into the world of Leandra McNair.
As always, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, and Spotify, and also on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And don't forget my online store, cortesnyc.bigcartel.com. I have all kinds of graffiti stuff, art, pins, stickers, posters, everything that you would want in the world of graffiti. Go online, check it out, cortesnyc.com, and support your favorite artist, me. Let's get on with it. Carla?
Dive deep.
All right. We have this is what, our second in-studio guest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
our
Third in-studio guest. It is a pleasure to have somebody in the studio for the third time. We have here Leandra McNair.
Yeah.
Hello, Leandra. How are you?
Hi, how are you guys?
Awesome. Leandra is a friend of the show. She is a singer and songwriter, but I'll let Carla introduce her formally.
Yes. Okay, so Leandra McNair is a soul artist from New York. Leandra's music has been described as contemporary alternative soul with strong hip-hop influence and a distinct jazz background.
Okay. Does that accurately
So-
describe you, Leandra?
I would say yeah. Yeah, that's pretty that's pretty spot on. I do consider my music pretty R&B. It's like R&B soul. So, yeah.
Okay. So we've been wanting to have you on for a while. Carla has been taking some lessons from you
Yeah.
because not only are you all those
Yes.
amazing things, but you're also a teacher,
I
Yeah.
am.
which is
a great
really cool.
vocal coach that really
Aw.
helped me a lot, and really just get to know, with her teachings, you get to know your own voice and the way to control, how to do beautiful things with your voice, which is what she does with her music. So it's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
So we've been wanting to have you on for a while, but now was a perfect timing because we were like, well, we saw that you were releasing a new project. You released a new project, and you have plans. You have plans for the future. You have big new plans, and we wanted you to
Yes.
share all those new plans with us as much as you can on the podcast. And we thought that it would be really exciting to share your world with our friends of the podcast. So how about we start with this? We have a few background questions just to get people familiar with you.
Okay.
So your background, where are you from?
I am from Long Island, Nassau County, from Westbury.
Okay.
Yeah, and
How'd you get into singing?
I started singing when I was like 3 years old. I tell this story over and over again. I'm going to tell you again right
Let's
now.
do it. I'm here for this.
So I was like 3 years old and I wanted to join the church choir, but obviously 3 is way too young to be doing anything by yourself. So my older brother joined with me, and I grew up singing in the Catholic church. And then when I was about 10 or 11, I started taking private voice lessons and started taking it really seriously. And from then, I just kept studying music. I went to Performing Arts High School in Long Island, and from there, I went on to Music Conservatory in Boston called Berklee College of Music.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah.
All right. And
Yeah.
how did you like, I mean, we can all, study music and learn music, but how did you make that jump to say, I'm going to follow this for my life. I want to make this a career.
Correct.
At what point?
I mean, I feel like it's something that I've always had inside of me that just told me that this was my calling, at a very young age.
Do you have family that sing and perform?
A little bit on my dad's side, but not really anybody.
That's crazy.
Nothing really. Yeah.
How does your family react to your singing and your music career?
Oh, they love it. They love it. I mean, my parents are artists. My mom is a fine artist.
Okay.
And my dad is a writer and a poet.
That
So
translates.
That translates, but no other.
Got it.
No other. There aren't really any other musicians or singers in my direct family, so that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Carla, you had some questions for Leandra. What do you got?
Yes. Well, I was going to go with the to the single and ask questions about the single.
Let's talk about it.
But I was going to ask you what's the inspiration behind the single and where it came about.
So let's introduce this. The
Yeah,
single is
exactly.
called. We're here to promote a single, right? The single's called
Yes.
Dive Deep.
Yes.
Dive Deep. Very interesting title. Right? So what's the meaning behind it? Where did it come from? What was the inspiration?
So, Dive Deep is a very sensual and sexual song to me.
Yes.
I feel like it's the perfect song to put you in the mood when you're with your partner or your lover. I wrote this song basically for the lovers, as corny as that sounds. It's for people who are in the mood, trying to set a mood.
Yep.
Right.
And
Yeah.
get in a vibe, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. From the first bars, like in the first verse, the words are deep dive down where the what is it? Deep dive down where the waters rise in me. You feel me. So it's just talking about how your partner can really connect with you, and they know exactly how to touch you, where to touch you, to make you feel good.
Yeah.
So it just
That's
keeps going.
interesting.
Yeah, that's where the inspiration came from.
Right.
Are
for
you?
that song.
I mean, in order to write a song like that, you got to be comfortable with number one with your sexuality, but with number two, with writing that kind of genre. You've written like that before, that kind of genre?
Not this direct. This
Gotcha.
has been the most direct song, like a literal like sexual song that I've written. So that's kind of a big step.
Yeah.
For my songwriting.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Gives you some confidence.
Yeah.
You know.
So let's just
Absolutely.
rewind a little bit. So then what were your first songs that you wrote?
My other songs were, I like to write about love, but they were a little bit safer. A lot of my older songs were about love and attaining love and then the loss of love, which
Right.
I think is like, it's very powerful.
And
but
relatable.
And relatable.
Yeah, everybody's gonna experience that at one point or another.
Absolutely. But there's so many other levels and layers to love than just
Right.
like having it and then losing it. You know what I mean? Like there's so much emotion.
It's
in
true.
all of that.
That's where you can get deeper into the different feelings that you have with love, and
Yeah.
then maybe the experiences that you can have with a partner that can also relate to people.
Yeah.
Because there's so many songs out there. So how can you make it different and unique, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
What was like your first songs? This is not your first single, so what else have you done? What other songs can people find out there?
So,
Or do you recommend for us to find out there?
all right. So, some of my first songs that I released, they were under a different name. I was going by Alora Luna
Okay.
when I was living in Orlando. If I have any of my Orlando people listening, you'll know.
Shout out to Orlando.
Shout out to the O. Yeah. I was living in Orlando for about 3.5 years, and when I was down there making music, I was going by Alora Luna. So I released my first EP, self-titled Alora Luna.
Nice.
And
What was like the big song from there? Or the song that you like, the one that still stands strong for you.
ooh, that's tough.
Okay.
So the song that I made, the single for that project, was Strong Soldier, and you guys can find that on YouTube. It's a a little bit dated at this point, but I still love it.
No, it sounds good.
We were watching it before.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds good. It has
It's still good.
It has an island feeling. If anybody, any of my people out there who like island vibes, it has an island feeling to it. The rhythms.
Definitely. But that album or that project was really, really special for me because it was my first body of work that I put out into the world. And I included one of the first songs that I ever wrote, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I wrote that when I was like 14. It's called Love Letter. It's one of my favorite songs. Yeah, it's really, really good.
Well, what memories do you have of that project? Is it what you expected, looking back?
Yeah. I think it was a really, really good start to my career as a songwriter and an artist in general, just like getting my ideas out there. It was my first time recording a lot, like actually going into the studio and working on songs until they were finished, like re-recording parts and
Right.
arranging harmonies and all that stuff. That was like my first time that I really did that. So I'm really happy with it. I'm proud of it.
Cool.
I feel like I've gotten a
should.
lot better. Yeah, like I feel like I've gotten a lot better and I've improved. But yeah, so you guys can check that one out. It's still on my SoundCloud if anyone's interested.
All right. So what is it again?
It's Alora Luna, and I think if you just type that in, you'll find it.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're definitely gonna post images and whatever for it. We will maybe even an audio clip if you allow us to. We'll
Sure,
post
why
it on our
not?
Instagram so people can hear it. And then what else did you work on from that point to now? Are there any other projects that stood out?
Yeah, so then after that, about 2.5, 3 years after that, I released my second EP titled Lucky. And at this point, I was going by my birth name, Leandra McNair.
Which sounds like a stage name.
Yeah, it does.
It sounds like a stage name. I know. It's just one of those names. Yeah, so I released Lucky in 2016, I believe.
Okay.
And this is the album that I really feel like I came into myself as an artist. Like this is my favorite body of work so far.
When you say came into yourself, what do you mean by that? You mean you found your voice? You mean you got the reaction you wanted? Do you mean you came into yourself because you made it perfect?
I mean, I don't believe in perfection.
Okay.
We can strive for greatness, but not perfection. So, this is the project that I feel like I finally got to sound like myself. And it got to the songs that I had written and how I heard it in my head is what I got out of it.
Gotcha.
So I was really, really proud of that. A lot of the songs I wrote either with the ukulele or I made demos on my computer and then sent it to my producer to kind of like make it sound better. So
Right.
I was really, really in charge on that project, and that made me feel amazing.
Right.
And I think that's why it was just like really close to me. It was like a child or a baby.
And I think you can hear that when you listen to the EP. I don't know, but there's something about the songs that they feel so like kind of organic in a way that they're very relatable, and then the voice is very honest
Yeah.
in a way, and the music, everything comes together really nicely. So it's a great EP, guys.
Oh, thank you. It means a lot that you're saying that. I'm glad that it came across that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So then, a couple of projects. You did a few things, got your feet wet, did some things you're really proud of. Now you're getting ready to do this new song, right? Let's say, dive deep. How did you go about making this new song? How did you tackle this new project now? What's your new technique? Did you listen to beats first? Did you write down lyrics? How did you go about making this new song?
That is a good question. This song in particular, one of my very good friends, my producer, his name is Dom Martin. You guys should check him out if you don't know him. You can find him on Instagram too at soydomstone. He's an amazing producer, and we've known each other for a really long time. I think 10 years, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. And he actually brought this beat to me, and it was in combination with a few other beats. He just sent me a couple of things that he had been working on, but this one really stood out to me. And I don't know, I feel like when I really get the inspiration for a song, I can almost hear the song immediately when I hear the beat.
So describe the beat. We're going to
So-
play it in a minute, but describe the beat for us. Well, how would you describe it?
It's sexy. It's fucking sexy.
It's a deep dive.
It is. I don't know what else to say. It's just like a very it's a moody song.
Yeah.
It's a vibe.
It's also the tempo.
Yeah.
Like the rhythm.
Uh-huh. It's the type of song that you just start body rolling automatically. You just start
That's true.
That's true.
I've seen it. I've witnessed it.
yeah. Guy or girl, it just makes you want to move those shoulders back, body roll.
And so then as far as writing the lyrics for it, how did you go about doing that? What's your technique?
Did you had these lyrics already written, or you wrote it once you got the beat?
I wrote it once I got the beat. So I really like to start writing the chorus first. I was telling you guys before, I'm a very hooky writer. I hear the chorus.
Which is the best. That's the best thing to do, because start with that. Why not? Right?
Exactly.
That's the part that everybody is gonna remember.
Exactly.
And you can always add more.
Yeah. But it gets weird sometimes, because then I'll get really attached to a hook. And then I'm like, okay, now I can't get this out of my head. But
So
I start from the middle, then I build my...
Dive Deep was originally Sink In, and you were like, that doesn't work. Leandra, stop it. It's going to be something else. Wait, Dive Deep. That's better. Sink In. All right, so Dive Deep. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I derailed you. I'm sorry.
Yes, you did.
So I start from the center, and then I build outwards.
Okay. So the hook, the center of it, the meat of it, and then you start building outwards.
Yes.
Do you ever find yourself when you're doing that stuck, or you have too many words, or you're saying too much and you got to pull back and you got to edit? Is editing a problem?
Oh yeah, it happens all the time. That's the downfall to being a hooky writer, because I'll write the chorus and then I'm like, all right, but what is this song about?
Right.
That happens to me all the time. So, for example, the chorus, I don't know, can I sing it? Do you guys
Yeah,
hear?
go ahead.
So it's like, will you find it? Oh, will you find it? Will you find it for me? Oh, will you find it? Oh, will you find it for me? For me. So from there, I was like, all right, but what's the catch of this song? Because I say dive deep in the first couple of words in the song. Deep dive down where the waters rise. So I wrote the hook first, and I was like, I don't know where to go from here. So I had to listen to it over and over and over again and figure out how to get myself out of it.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Do you ever collaborate? Do you have a partner or a friend or family that help you whenever you feel stuck, or do you just do you just go at it on your own? Are you a solo person? You just got to figure it out yourself?
I mean, I am pretty independent in general in my songwriting, but I have my amazing husband, Norman, aka Soul Ray, to help me out whenever I write myself into a corner.
Yeah,
I call him in.
He throws you the life preserver.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, come on, swim to shore, come on.
And he helps me every single time.
That's nice.
Yeah, he's the best.
That's good. I think that's something out there. All you artists out there got to remember, man. You might be an artist and you might have a view, but you gotta use the people around you. Not use them in the wrong way, but I'm saying they're your help. You know what I mean? You still gotta relate to people, right?
Be open to ask for help, and then also to listen to suggestions, and
You don't want to sink.
Yeah. I feel like music is all about collaboration. It thrives on collaboration. So there are a lot of people who they can be really selfish with their art. Like, no, I wrote this. I did everything myself. Like, blah, blah. Stupid.
All right, so we're gonna play your single in a minute, but what's your plan with this? What do you want? How did you say I'm gonna do a single? What makes you say get up in the morning and say I'm gonna make a single, I'm gonna release it? What's your plan?
Well, this is the first song I've released in about a year. I had another single that I released about a year ago called Magic. You guys can check that one out on SoundCloud too.
Cool.
But this was the first song that I've released in a while that I was really excited about. So I am planning to release some more music like this. I don't want to give away too much.
No, don't. But I get it.
You
I
know.
get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds
I just gotta.
So you have a plan.
good.
I have a plan.
You have a
I'm just
plan.
not sharing it.
That's cool. I like that. I like that. It makes us want to dive in. It makes us want to dive in.
You guys got to stay tuned.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna play your song.
Yes.
Dive deep, and where people can find it on SoundCloud. They can find it on Spotify.
Yes, you can find it pretty much anywhere you listen to music. Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer. What else is there? Amazon Music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
And
You can find it.
and I saw the album cover also real quick. I'm just gonna mention that the album cover was really cool. It was illustrated.
Yes.
It's got like a cartoon of you,
Mm-hmm.
an illustration of you, but like not of you really, because it's not photoreal, but it's more like a mood,
A mood of you.
It's a mood of me. Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty cool. Was
Yeah.
that planned out ahead of time, or that was a happy accident?
That was 100% planned.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I worked really hard on that. I worked it out with a designer and illustrator that I met online, and she did a beautiful job.
Yeah. So you guys, if anything, also check out the album cover. Some of you illustrators out there, I know I have a lot of artists listening to me right now. The artwork on the cover looks really good. It's very cool, nice cartoon. But all right, so let's get into this. Dive deep. Leandra McNair. Let's play it.
My soul, touch me in the places I'm yearning for. Touch me, I wanna feel your blood. No one can steal your love away. Will you find it? Or will you find it? Will you find it for me? Oh, will you find it?
I don't want to give the whole song away. People gotta go out there and
That's just a little piece.
they gotta
a
go out there and
tease.
support it. But what a vibe. Damn.
Right?
That's a vibe.
Love it. How do you feel about it?
It's amazing.
Do you hear the time that you put into it?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. This one I put a lot of hours into, so I'm just like sitting back and enjoying it at this point. The fruits of my labor.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carla, what other questions do you have for Leandra?
Yeah, so I was going to ask you about being an independent artist and how is it to be an independent artist, because we know that you do all the work yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if you can go a little bit into how is it for you. And,
Yeah, I mean, being an indie artist is hard as fuck. I don't know if I can curse on here.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
but
can.
It is hard as fuck. But honestly, it's really exciting. Like, all of the hours that I put in doing promotion, doing research, recording myself. I recorded myself on this song. This was like
Oh, you did?
I did. Yeah, in my studio.
and all the voices and everything.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
everything is you.
Yeah, I tracked everything myself, and it's just like I feel like I'm really I'm becoming stronger because of all of this hard work that I'm doing on my own. So it makes me proud of myself, as exhausting as it is. But when I get good feedback from people, it makes it that more exciting.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah,
Have you ever been signed?
I haven't been signed.
You haven't.
I have not.
So what would be the advantages for you to be signed? I mean, is it something that you're pursuing, or?
I mean, it's something that I'm open to. Some of the advantages would be like more opportunities in terms of TV and radio,
Right.
movies, you know, just that type of stuff. Certain things that maybe I can't get on my own,
Right.
those type of opportunities. But yeah, it's something I'm open to. I'm somewhat seeking out, but I'm kind of just plugging away, doing the most I can on my own.
I think that's the right way to do it.
Yeah.
And I
it's-
think the most important thing is to be prepared.
Yeah.
If you have your own work that sounds really good and you did it yourself, once they come, you're ready.
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm staying ready at this point. So that when I get a really good offer, I can just say, yep, like
Yeah.
I'm already here.
Exactly.
I'm good.
So, who is your favorite artist, or what are your musical inspirations?
Ooh, that's a good one. Some of my biggest inspirations are Stevie Wonder, Lauryn Hill, Janelle Monáe,
Yes.
Nancy Wilson. She's an amazing jazz singer. If you guys don't know her, you should check her out. Ella Fitzgerald, of course. Marvin Gaye is a huge one.
You like the classics.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm an old soul, definitely. But there's a lot of modern artists that I like.
Like who?
I've been listening to a lot of Mac Ayres lately. Do you guys know
I
him?
don't know.
No.
No, he's good. He's really good. I like Tyler, the Creator.
Okay.
His production is very good. It's kind of.
Do you
out
like
there.
her?
Yes, I do like her.
Yeah.
I do like
Wait,
her.
Her? Who?
Hair.
H-E-R?
H-E-R. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I really like her. She's really, really good. I like her song. What is it? Yes, between love and a heartbreak.
Oh yes.
It's like
yes.
one of the new ones. by her.
Yes. I really like it too. Yeah, this is another conversation with her. I was listening to a song of her that it was called Focus.
Oh yeah. That's a really
That
good one.
The melody stayed in my head. Okay. So what are your future goals for your career as a singer, songwriter, artist,
Producer.
producer, everything?
My goals. I mean, it's hard to say. I have so many goals. Like,
Maybe let's say one short term, one long term.
okay. So short term, I would love to go on a tour.
Nice.
I'd love to do like a smallish / medium-sized tour down.
In the US?
Yeah, like on the East Coast.
Oh yeah.
Like do something, maybe starting in Boston and then just going down
Yeah.
from there, all the way down to Florida.
That would be cool.
Yeah, so that's definitely a goal that's on my radar. I would love to do that. in the
Very
next-
doable.
Yeah, I'd love to do that in the next couple of years.
You can maybe book different venues
Yeah,
where you can go and sing.
absolutely.
Well, listen, if you do a tour, we'll definitely promote it on here.
Yeah.
We'll let people know. We'll
Thank
spread the
you
word.
guys.
For whoever's listening to us.
I appreciate it.
So what's a long-term goal?
A long-term goal. I mean, let's see.
The house with the white picket fence? 2 dogs?
I mean, like the corny one is like a Grammy, but I don't really care about that much. I think that's cool.
You
but
said it. You shot called it. That's it.
I
It's yours. It's
did.
going to happen now.
I know, I did
You're going to
say-
manifest it.
I know. That's why I'm being very careful with what I say because I'm a big believer in manifestation. So, I want to become a household name. That's like my biggest goal.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a good
I
one.
want like people from all different ages, races, everything, nationalities, places to know my music
Yeah.
and be
Leandra-
impacted by it.
To know
So,
Leandra McNair.
Nice.
Yeah, I just want to impact the world in a positive way with my music.
Here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to get into the weird questions.
Okay.
What's more important, for them to know Leandra McNair or for them to have your song in their head without knowing who sang it?
Ooh. To have them have my song in their head without knowing who sang it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know, there's
'Cause
artists
they
like
can
there's
always-
artists like that.
Yeah.
That we know their
Yeah.
songs, but we don't know who sang it.
Yeah, I know.
And then there's people that we know their name,
now
but we don't know
with
their
the
song.
internet, with the internet, you can always research who's the person.
But still, like, that's just something about music.
it's true.
Something about music is eventually
Yeah.
the composer and the musician is irrelevant. The song is the important thing.
Yeah.
But I would want to be the one singing it though. I would want them to know my voice. You know what I mean?
So not
Okay.
just your lyrics,
Okay.
because maybe you can write the lyrics
Yeah.
and someone else can sing it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think we just took a deep dive.
Play it again.
Every time we go into like a
Deep question. All right, what other question you got there, Carla? I got a couple of questions of my own, but
yeah. So what questions do you have?
well, we're gonna stay deep then. Don't come out for air yet. I got some deeper questions here. All right, so we were talking earlier. We were talking about being an artist and what it's like to make the craft of making the music and all that stuff. And me and Carla, we've been producing stuff. We've been messing around with making some tracks and also my background as an artist, as a visual artist. I've gone to school for a bit. I've had some training, but I also have some God-given talents and blah, blah, blah and all that. And we were talking about yourself because you went to school for, you've been formally trained and obviously you have some serious talent. And then we were talking about, have you ever found a point in your career so far where your being trained as a musician has ever conflicted with your talent, with your inspirations? Have you ever felt like they conflicted?
I don't feel like they've conflicted. I feel like my training has taken me to a next level that, just talent alone maybe couldn't have.
Gotcha.
This is just me speaking personally about myself. But I feel like once I learned how to use my voice and control it, it took me to another level. And it helped me build confidence to the point that I can basically sing anything, I feel like.
I hear that.
Or I can get myself to a point, with practice and whatever, to sing anything in a way that I'll be proud of it.
So what's the best thing that you learned in your training? And what's the worst thing that you hated?
Ooh, okay. So the best thing I learned is... can I...
Even if it's a
so
technical
many.
thing, it doesn't matter. Even if it's like a nerdy technical music thing, it doesn't matter. But what's the thing that
Okay.
you say, like, that was like, I'm glad I learned that, like that?
So breath support is everything for
Okay.
all the singers listening out there.
Yeah.
If you're not breathing from your diaphragm, I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, why are you alive?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Like, it's just not gonna happen. You need to breathe from your diaphragm. And also the shapes. So singing like with a long shape instead of a very spread shape. If you don't know what I'm talking about, YouTube it. Because
Research.
it's gonna change your life.
Yeah.
Things that I didn't like learning. I don't know. I can't really think of anything, but I can tell you a funny anecdote of something that I used to do
Yes.
when I was.
I'm here for this.
Oh
Yes.
my God. When I started really training in high school, taking like serious voice lessons in high school, my teacher pointed out that I had this weird tick. When I would sing, I would move my hands side to side, like against my leg.
Okay.
Like, I don't even know how would you explain this. Like,
Are you keeping time?
no, it
You're
was
just-
like,
you're
it
just
was
swaying.
just swaying in an off tempo way. So she pointed that out to me and I didn't believe her. So she recorded me.
Oh my God.
And she was like, look at you, what are you doing? I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. And then there was this other thing.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
Yeah, it was really, really fucking weird. And then I had this other thing that I would cock my head to the side. Whenever I would sing a hard note, I would cock my head all the way to the
Oh
side.
my God.
And she's like, you are like, I don't know what you're doing. And again, I didn't believe her. She recorded me. I was like, okay, yeah, this has to change. So
How do you fix that? You do
I consciously don't do it.
right.
Yeah. Like the thing moving my hand to the side, that I don't do anymore. But sometimes I feel myself kind of cocking
Right,
my head a
uh-huh,
little bit.
uh-huh.
Yeah. So I have to.
All right.
It might
well,
be a reflection of your body being like,
that,
Maybe. I don't know. But
that goes into one of the questions that I wanted to ask you,
What?
and it is performance. Performance versus just singing. And is that something that they were trying to point out to you to so that you can control your performance, your visual performance? And is that important for a singer, performance?
so the first part, it could have been that they were trying to control my
Your
my
visual.
visual, yeah, to get into the song and like
Yeah.
show people. But it also could have been just because it looks super weird, like me moving my hands to the side, not in
Like
tempo.
distracting.
Yeah, like distracting.
To the performance.
And honestly, it was just a nervous tick.
Right.
I was nervous and I didn't know what to do with my body. At another point, I used to keep my hands glued to my thighs, you know, not move at all, be very stiff. So I think that was just kind of on the performance visual side. But what was the second part of the question?
How much of singing and being a singer is performance?
I think performance is really, really important. It doesn't mean that you need to be doing backflips on stage and moving all around, but if you're showing emotion with your body, it could be really subtle. I think that's really moving, and it translates to the audience way more than being lifeless on stage. You know, like.
So there's a
It
level.
doesn't
There's a level to your training that is also partially acting.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. You have to be like.
So it's not just
Emotive.
reading. It's not just
Yeah.
reading music. It's not just listening carefully, and it's not just learning how to play an instrument. It's also acting.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's like internalizing the song.
Good word.
Yeah, that's what
a
I
good
do.
word. Internalizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Write it down. It's the word of the day. Internalizing, guys.
Internalize the lyrics.
Yeah.
All right. So we were also talking about training. We were talking about talent. We talk about the different things that make a good artist or make an artist be an artist, that we can acknowledge them as an artist, right? Whether you're a singer or you're a visual artist or whatever you might be. But then we were talking about that other thing, which is, and I was kind of getting into it, which was the it factor. And we've talked about this in the podcast previously when we talked about developing as a visual artist. The it factor. There's so many artists that can be very well trained, that they're perfect. Their training is perfect. They're immaculate. They're book smart to the T, and their hands are well trained, and they have that body, that muscle memory to play the instrument correctly. And they have talent, natural born talent, but they don't have the it factor. That it factor to me is that thing that is a little ugly, and that's a little it's a curiosity. It's a little interesting because it's a little ugly, because it's a little off, because it's not perfect. It's a little rough around the edges. I was describing it earlier, like probably the first time a jazz musician was playing a trumpet and he hit it off tune and kind of did that and kind of gave it like a brassy, horrible sound, but it became cool and eventually became part of the curriculum instead of being anti-curriculum. I remember when I was first going to college, I had a lot of other artist friends that were telling me, don't go to school, because if you go to school, they're going to untrain you. They're going to take away that it factor. They're going to take away that thing that makes you, why you got into art in the first place. They're going to train it out of you. They're going to clean you up and train it all out of you. I didn't agree 100%. I went to college anyway, but I did see it, and I did understand what they were talking about. What do you think about the it factor? Have you come across that? Do you see it?
I think the it factor is definitely a thing. I don't feel like I'm a very good judge of it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm very like, I get impressed by talent. I don't know, like if you're not talent and it's not hidden for me, like I won't be able to see the it factor. It has to be supplemented by like talent.
Because we're living,
know what I mean?
We're living in a time of the it factor.
I know.
The YouTubes
And it's really
and the
weird.
medias and the Instagrams and the Snapchats are filled of just it factor.
I know, and it's
Just, do you have it? Do people want to come and look for you and click and watch? Half the views that they get, somebody who's getting 1 million views, let's say overnight or whatever the fuck, half of those views are haters.
It's true.
I know.
That's what I mean. Like, they're not there to see how perfect you did it. They're there to hate on you, to be like, damn, this guy sucks. But they gave you a view.
Yeah.
That's the it factor. That's what I'm talking about. And that's what
weird.
times that we're living in, where you can't ignore it. It's part of the thing now. You have training, you have talent, and then you still have to have that it factor to get those followers, to get those views, to get that following, to get their attention period. We were talking about people nowadays have a very small attention span.
Yes, they do.
They're not ready to sit down for a full album, a conceptual album. unless it's been forced down their head, through
Or unless it's not Beyonce.
exactly,
Right.
where it's been promoted and
Yeah, if
and
it's not Beyonce, no one's listening.
exactly,
Let's
exactly.
be real. But when you were talking about the it factor and how you don't have to be talented, it made me think of that guy, William Hung. You guys remember him?
I remember the name.
From American Idol.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, this was like
I look him up.
the early 2000s. He was a terrible singer, and he was just mocked for months. And this was like,
Became famous.
yeah, he was so famous. This was when YouTube was in its infancy and people were still on AIM and stuff like that. But he had the it factor, as bad as he was.
Right. But that's that.
It's-
Yeah, I'm not saying to subscribe to it. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
another element.
There was
Yeah.
And I was just curious.
Yeah.
an episode that we did that it was about fame and status. And
Yeah.
So this relates a lot with that because we were talking about maybe you have the fame, meaning you have the followers, but you're not as talented.
Right.
And then you do have the talent, but people are not watching you.
Yeah.
And being famous doesn't necessarily means that maybe you can give something meaningful to the world. It just means that maybe you have the means to get people to follow you.
Right.
So this has to do a lot with that concept of what is more important. Is it fame? Is it talent? Do you still feel like you're making a difference just by sharing your talent, or you feel like you need to be famous in order to make a difference?
Yeah.
It's deep.
That's the true question. That's really deep. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean to deep dive here, but
No. It's called Deep Listen to the song. No,
yeah, exactly. That's what the song's there for. I hope you all listen to that song and think of this conversation when you listen to it. All right, dual meanings in there. I just one last thing I want to touch on, and I appreciate all your answers, and I'm just trying to poke around and trying to get some answers. I really enjoy having conversations with creative people because I feel like creative people understand what it is to brainstorm and what it is to think around an idea. So I always enjoy that. But the last thing I want to touch on was, we were talking about culture. We were talking about the style of music, the genre that you're in, the things that you want to represent. And you were describing also your background and just actually your race, who you are as a person, your makeup. You are trying to inspire. You are trying to be an example also.
Yes.
You're not just an artist because you just want to get the likes and get the views and just ride the it factor. You have the it factor. It might not be that kind of it factor, that craziness.
Yeah.
But you do have an it factor because people do gravitate to your music and to you. But talk to me about the inspiration you want to give out there. What is the message you want to give out? Who are you trying to inspire? We were talking about culture. We were talking about your background as an African American. Tell me a little bit about that.
So my goal and my mission statement is just to make people feel less alone in the world, to make them feel like it's okay to feel things. I have a lot of sad songs that are really emotional and raw, but that it's okay to feel happy at the same time, and you can go through all those things, and also that it's possible to love yourself and really, really, truly care for yourself as a young African American woman of dark skin, and you can be beautiful and successful, and you can be all of these things just like anyone else. And honestly, that's just me speaking for myself because that's who I am, but I'm really speaking to all women and all people.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Do you ever think, because that's another thing we were talking about earlier, do you ever have a conflict with image? How do you treat your image now? I know right now we were describing your album covers right now currently, your single covers. You're going for illustration. You're trying to create this image with this style of your image. In the past, you've had music videos that people could look up, and you have had different image, a little more fashion or of the time or whatever you're doing at that time.
Yeah.
Have you ever found that image is something that you have had to plan ahead, think carefully of?
My image is ever changing. I really just go with what I feel at the moment. That's the other benefit of being independent. I can do whatever the fuck
You're
I
not
want.
on the-
Shit, that's a
Exactly.
big.
Yeah.
That's a
That- yeah.
big. Yep.
You can be yourself and be
Yeah.
whomever you want, whenever you want. right?
Exactly. Maybe a
Yeah.
label, maybe they wouldn't let me do these illustrations.
They're
They'd be
gonna
like,
be like,
no,
"No, you need
we
to
need a
do
picture
this."
of you. I'm like, no, fuck you. I like cartoons. I want a fucking cartoon.
Yeah.
I feel a cartoon right now.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'll feel fabulous.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll do whatever.
So-
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah, so
No, that's a big. I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah.
That's another big plus of being independent.
It's true.
So I
Controlling your
think-
image.
Yeah, controlling my image. My image is changing all the time. I feel like mostly, like the most consistent thing with my image is that I'm real and I'm an everyday girl
Yeah.
with
A lot of talent.
a big talent, with an extraordinary talent. I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
I'm a normal girl with an extraordinary
With
talent.
superpowers.
With superpowers, yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, listen. The few couple of minutes that we have left. Any shout outs you want to give out? Anybody you want to mention?
Yes. Okay. Shout out to my husband, Norman. I love you so much. Oh my
So
gosh.
sweet.
Thank you so much, babe, for everything that you do. He is my rock. He is my acting manager. He helps me with everything. I say I do everything myself, but it's really like both of us.
He knows what you mean when you say that.
Yeah.
I know he does. I know he does, but the world needs to know. He's the best. And he is a beautiful singer and songwriter
Yes.
himself. So
Yes.
if you guys haven't heard of Soul Ray, you can check him out on his Instagram at SoulRay13. You can also find him on SoundCloud if you type in Soul Ray. And yeah.
Maybe
what
we'll
else?
have him on.
Yes. Yes,
We
yes.
should.
That would be amazing. We should be releasing some new music together soon. And also, my next single, Fantasy, will be coming out on June 26th. So definitely look out for that. That is going to be a really fun song. It's going to be the song of the summer. So you're going to play it at all your barbecues, your cookouts,
That's the
your
vibe.
beach days. It's a vibe. It's so much fun. I think everybody's going to love this song. So Fantasy, June 26th. You can...
This is the exclusive,
We got a
guys.
sneak peek,
Yeah.
so we're just letting you guys know it is pretty dope.
This is
The deep dive
nowhere
was
else.
deep dive was the pre-party.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That one
Fantasy
is
is
after
gonna
you've got
be.
you put on the nice clothes afterwards.
Yeah, and you go out
Get
to
ready
the
for the
club.
party.
Yeah,
Uh-huh,
exactly.
yeah.
With that smile on your face.
This is like the cookout song, the pregame song, getting ready to go out. So you guys are going to love that one. And yeah, you guys can follow me online. I have a YouTube channel if you want to see some of my videos. Or you can follow me for my day-to-day stuff on my Instagram at Leandra McNair. And send me a message because I like talking to people.
All right. Thank you.
You wanted me to teach you, right? Street reality.
Bueno, pues ahora sí hablando español. And we have a special guest.
Yes, we have Leandra.
Hola.
We have somebody to test the Spanish. All right. So what
She's
words
gonna
you got
be
for me?
Learning Spanish.
What-
So these words are related to music or singing or everything else. Okay.
So Leandra, just so you understand, usually in this segment, what we do is we'll take some of the words that we discussed earlier in the podcast in our conversation, and
Yeah.
we'll ask you to say it in Spanish, so that at least you can relate some of the words that you already said, but in Spanish, and then maybe some of the people out there that didn't know those words, like myself sometimes, will know what the Spanish word was for the
Okay.
things we just talked about. So let's start. Go ahead, Carla. What's the first one?
How do you say singer-songwriter?
I don't know.
Cantantador? No.
Almost,
Well, cantador would be singer. Yeah, cantante.
but almost, because the word is,
Yes.
and it's feminine or masculine. So it's cantautora
Oh, really?
or cantautor.
Oh.
So meaning like canta, mean like singing, sing, and then or like you know how it's a writer, escritor.
Autor.
So it's kind of like mixing both el or y el canta.
All right, so go ahead. Say one real quick for her.
For Leandra, Leandra is a cantautora.
Leandra? Cantautora.
Cantautora.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
First one in and nailed it right out the park.
Thank you.
All right, next one. Which one do you got?
Okay, the next one is song. How do you say song?
I know. Leandra, do you know?
Yes.
Song? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, how you say it?
Oh wait, no, I'm scared.
Take a stab. Take a stab at it. It's all right.
Oh wait. Oh, Canción.
Perfect. Nailed it both, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a ringer here.
I have
we have a ringer. Bullshit.
We have a winner.
No, we have a ringer. This is so
A ring.
She knows how to speak Spanish.
No, I do. I have my Spanish vocab is kind of good.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
As soon as I say that, I get the
All right,
next
so
one.
no, take the training wheels off. Let's go. Come on. Let's go with the
alright.
harder words.
How do you say composer?
Ooh. Escribidora. No, that's wrong.
No. But okay, almost.
But do you know
got the
where
idea.
I'm going from?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see where I'm coming
Yes.
from.
Okay, so you say composer if it's a man, compositor. If it's a woman, compositora. So you say
Compositor
yes.
or compositora.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Nice.
Nailed it.
All right. How do you say then vocalist?
There's a word for vocalist?
Yes, it's very simple. It's very similar to it in English. Vocalist.
You got this one.
I don't got the
You don't
vocalist.
know?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's the same word, but
Vocalista.
in Spanish.
Vocalista?
Vocalista. Yes.
Vocalista.
Vocalista.
All right,
The same one.
vocalista. Got
Good
it.
job.
All right.
Good job.
So
everyone.
Spanish right
okay.
now.
How do you say mystery in Spanish?
Oh, that's a good one.
You don't know? Okay,
No,
I'll
I
tell
don't
you.
know.
Misterio?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Leandra, how do you say it?
Misterio.
Misterio.
She's got
Yes, That's right.
Leandra's got it. She's got it.
Leandra got it. Okay. How do you say? Okay, that's the same word. How do you say singing in Spanish?
Singing or to sing, either way.
Or to sing, yeah.
Cantar.
Cantar is to sing. Yeah.
Yes.
Singing would
And
just be
singing.
cantando.
Oh yeah,
Cantando.
cantando.
Yes.
Got it.
How do you say dream?
Soñar.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, it's soñar.
Yeah.
To dream is soñar. A dream. A dream.
Sueño? No. Yeah. Okay.
You're
Yeah.
good.
Leandra knows it. She lied. She said she didn't
Let me
know
see your
it.
passport. I need to check passports in here before we do this.
Chris, do you have any words?
Yeah, I had a couple of words here for Leandra.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna hold back.
Uh-oh.
¿Qué usted?
How do you say training in Spanish?
Training?
Training.
I don't know, like enseñar or something.
It's almost there.
It's almost there. Enseñar is teaching. Enseñar. Training.
Training
Carla?
en entrenamiento.
Okay. Entrenamiento.
Tren.
Entrenamiento.
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 Yes.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Entrenamiento. Okay.
Yes.
Well, listen, Leandra, you survived it. You did it.
You did great.
You did
I
awesome.
think you were one of the best.
Besides Damien. Sorry, Damien.
And Dr. Green.
I know Damien right now is like, well, I did better. What are you talking about? No, you did great though.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Well, listen, Leandra, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you for coming
having
by.
me.
Thank you for sharing your
Yeah.
talents and sharing your projects and sharing your backstory with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you,
Everybody, go
guys.
check her out, Leandra McNair.